Alright, as most Squadrons players with HOTAS setups know, there's a hard-coded dead zone in the game. A rather large hard-coded dead zone. The developers have said that they know of it and are investigating it, so we can expect a patch in the future that will fix this problem. But in the meantime, we'll just have to find some workarounds. I know that David Chen has posted a guide on YouTube on how to get around this using VJoy and joystick gremlin. But what I want to do is use joystick gremlin to figure out exactly how big this dead zone is. So we have joystick gremlin running here. I'm only using VJoy to remap the X and Y axis, and what I've done is I've told VJoy to always output 0 no matter what the input is. So if we select this one, so if the input is -1, the output is 0, and if the input is +1, the output is still 0, and it's doing that on both axes. So let's just turn on VJoy and switch over to the game, and I'll open the settings just to show you how my settings are. As you notice, okay, yeah, I was doing some experimentation. Let's just put all dead zone down to 0% so the game thinks it has no dead zone. I've put sensitivity up to 80%. I'm still playing around with that because I think the game also has a non-linear curve when it comes to the sensitivity, but that's not the subject of this video. And for flight stick 1, I've told the game to use my X52, and for flight stick 2, I've told the game to use VJoy device. And if we go to remap flight, you'll see that pitch up, pitch down, and roll right and roll left are set to flight stick 2, which is the VJoy device. And we'll confirm that once we're in the game. So let's just start a practice session. And to notice that the throttle is working, the X52 throttle. We'll just come to a halt and get rid of that message. And now I'm moving the joystick and nothing is happening, which means that it's actually looking at the VJoy stick instead of the X52 when it comes to pitch and roll. So that's working. So let's just switch back to joystick gremlin, and just for an extreme case, let's put a static +1 on the X-axis, and we'll have to restart. And as soon as I move the joystick, yeah, it constantly rolls because it's getting a static +1 on the X-axis. So back to 0. And it stops. And I'm moving the joystick and nothing is happening. Alright, let's go to a static +20%. Let's see what happens. And reboot, nothing. It's getting a +20% on the X-axis and nothing is happening. Alright, let's go to +25%. Hopefully YouTube doesn't kill this with its compression. If you can't see the numbers I'm putting in, try switching to 4K. we'll just see how that goes. I'll redo the video if it's terrible. But yeah, we're up to plus 25% and nothing is happening. So let's do plus 30. And it just barely starts moving. Alright. Let's try 28. And it stopped. No, it's actually moving. Okay. 26. And it's barely, just barely moving. $25. And it is stopped, I think. No. It's actually just barely moving, I think. Not sure though. Yeah. If you look at this tiny star, it's just about to disappear. Yeah, and then there it disappeared behind the wing. But yeah, 24. That's probably stopped. Yeah, it's as good as stopped. Alright, let's try minus 24. So that's 24%. It ignores everything below 24%. And it's the same for the negative values, I think. Actually, it might be, yeah, okay. It's I've got yaw on the twist on the joystick, so that might be, I think it's moving. Yeah, it's moving. 24. And it stopped. So, plus minus 24% is ignored. Just for fun, let's look at the other axis. Just go back to 0 on this one, and let's do plus 20 on the y-axis, and nothing happens. Let's try 25. Nothing. $28. Yep, and it starts moving. Alright, 20, let's go 25 again. It's like there's an inertia or something, because now it moves at 25. Let's try 24. And it is still moving. That's strange. Let's go just back down to 20%. And it is stopped. So let's go 24 again. And it doesn't move. Actually, yeah, it's just barely moving, I think. If you look at the debris. Let's see, 25. Yeah, and it starts. The reason for the delay is because I actually have to move the joystick for it to register the values coming from VJoy. Just at the start. It doesn't seem to initialize unless I move the inputs. Alright, so 24 seems to be the magic number. Yeah, and it still moves. So 24 moves the ship if it's already moving, but if it's not moving, then 24 won't start moving it. Let's try 24 again. Yeah, and it doesn't start moving. Alright, and I'm pretty sure that the negative values are the same. Or very similar at least. It's not starting to move. And yeah, 25 and it starts moving. And if we go back to 24, now it actually stops. Alright, so there you have it. If you wanna temporarily fix this, or do your own workaround using joystick gremlin, 24% is the value where it should start. Just look at David Chen's video, but I might actually do a video myself using a different method, but we'll just see. In the meantime, yeah, just look at David Chen's video if you wanna work around. And EA, you really need to hire better QA testers. That's it for now. See you in the next one. Just before I leave, I'm experiencing a bug that I've had a few times before, and that's that when I press escape on my keyboard, nothing is happening on the main menu. That's a really weird bug. I'm using A and D to move left and right, and Q and E to move between the tabs. Pressing escape does nothing. I have to press joystick button 11 to access the options, and then I can select quit. Man, this game!